Okay, this is how we do Addie's sheer hair. We use Curlformers, and we have multiple sizes. I usually use around 30-ish in her hair, but she has ridiculously thick hair, so you may not need that many. A few rubber bands and a hairbrush for tonight. We washed her hair. It's damp. It's not soaking wet, but it's wet enough that it can dry in the curlers overnight. So she has so much hair, we split it into two. I start on the top and get the front of it, like you're pulling your hair halfway up. When her hair is done, we want her bow to be about right here. So we're going to go further. Now, if your kiddo has thinner hair, you could probably get away with putting a ponytail up here with the whole thing and just stacking a couple ponytail holders to get it high enough. Addison has way too much hair, so we have to do it in two sections. So it will stay on top of her head. And seriously, with using the Curlformers, this is the most difficult part for us. I try to get it as smooth as I can, and it usually will stay smooth. Now it will, when she wakes up in the morning and we do her teasing and fluffing, it will cover up any lumps or bumps or boo-boos that we got. So I do her two ponytails right beside each other. Now, not necessary for everybody unless you have super thick hair. And we rubber band to the front. Okay, this way. We're most of the way there. Okay. So we start with pretty small sections. I always go from the top back. Now if you're using a curling wand, dry hair, and I would probably start from underneath and work your way towards the top. I take pretty small sections. That way it can dry completely. Now if you pop one of these out and they're not completely dry, you can run the hair dryer over it to finish drying it for those mornings that we have to be there super duper early. Haha. Take this spot. I'm going to do that one over. You can get these at Sally's. They do cost a little bit more here. I'm not sure if Ulta has them. If they do, coupon. We've gotten ours on Amazon and eBay. They're super easy to use. Once you put the little wand together, it has an opening that's rubber. And you just slide it in there and have a little extra. This is where you hook her hair on, and then you just pull that straight through. And we take pretty thin pieces because she has a lot of hair. Like that. And then you keep going all the way to the bottom. Okay, we're almost done. We have about 2 more to do. Like I said, your hair just needs to be damp, not soaking wet. It's not really necessary to put any sort of product in there. It doesn't need mousse or gel or anything. That will just weigh it down and make it harder to tease once we get to the next step. Now they do have these in multiple lengths, and I guess we have lost some of our long ones along the way, but do make sure that it's long enough to get the entire hair in there, or we'll be having to go back with a curling wand tomorrow and fix this right here. She'll sleep in this tonight, and when we wake up, I always check one in the back to see if they're completely dry. If they're not, I'll just hold them and go over them with a hair dryer to let them finish drying all the way. But that's it. She'll sleep like this tonight, and then we'll continue. Okay, we've let her hair dry overnight. We're ready to take it down. Some of the things that we're going to need to tease and fluff it are going to be a teasing comb, your pick. You're going to need your bow, some hairspray. This one is like $4 at Target, and it has seemed to work the best for us because it's anti-humidity. Make sure you get an anti-humidity spray, because some girls, as soon as that humidity gets to their hair, it just falls straight out. And Big 60 Hair makes a Power Play. You get Powder Play or Powder Play Light. Either one of these will work for what we're going to do. I start at the bottom of her hair. Actually, before I do this, she's woke up with a little bit of messiness. So I will spray. I'll go all the way around her head and spray, and I will just smooth all this right back out. Some of those little short baby hairs underneath like to go a little wild in their sleep. Look up, baby. We always put her uniform top on before we do hair. We're not going to competition today, so I'm not wearing that today. But we'll put her competition top on because it's really hard to get it over their hair once it's fixed. And we usually just throw a towel around her shoulders to protect the stones on the uniform from the hairspray. You do want to make sure you're protecting the stones on the bows and on their uniforms from the hairspray, because the hairspray will build up and dull the sparkle on them over time. Okay, so we pull one out from the back. They're super easy. You just pull straight and have a little curl. For hers, I usually take each section and split it in 3. Her hair is super thick. We could probably get 4 or 5 out of this. But then I take the Power Play or the Power Play Light. It's up to you how much oomph you need. And I sprinkle that in the roots of it. You can go through here and do all your curlers. This is going to help you with teasing to help that hair stand up. I get a curl working from the bottom. of her hair towards the head, and I tease that curl at the root. Some of your ugly ones will be at the bottom, that way it stacks up and sits as high as it needs to. They do want her hair showing above the bow, so when your bow is on your head, you should have a little hair right here. And we just go through here and we tease. Now, once you get a teased up curl, you want to take that curl, and spray it. But if you spray it just hanging, it's gonna fall. We want to spray it holding that little curl up while it dries for a minute. That keeps the curl locked in place. That way you don't lose all your hard work. Keep going. In the back, forward. I'm gonna keep going. I totally blanked because we're not actually competing today. I put her bow in usually before I start doing her curls because it gets so big it's hard to get it over her head. It's up to you. Some people like to zip tie the bow to the ponytail. Some people put them in afterwards and then go pull all the curlers out, put the bow in, and then go in and fluff. For me, it's easier to put it in before I start doing this. We're fixing to go science experiment shopping, so I totally blanked, but let's do that while we're thinking about it. I have tried to put this in other ways, and it has not worked out well for us with the amount of hair that she has. Okay, now I usually twist it and go around one more time, but we're not going to put her through that for today. Okay, we're almost done. We've made our way to the front. We have teased and fluffed and all that fun stuff. We're going to put just a little bit more piping in the front. These two will be the ones that will be up here by my bow. I'm going to make sure they're nice and funny. Look up there. Ooh, sorry. That was loud. spin her around so you can see the front a little bit better. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Almost done in front. I like to try to use those front two curls to cover and make the part that goes above her bow. Spray away from the bow. Get the bow. Spray. Okay. Try to get as much curl as we can right here in front above the bow. Here, here. Okay. Now she's got curl. You want your curls to end up a little bit higher than the bow, like that. So I usually go around when we get done. When we get done, I go around her head one more time, and I hold the curls up and I spray. I'm gonna go all the way around and hold and spray and hold and spray. But make sure when you're spraying your curls, you're holding them up so you're locking them into that curl. Some should go up just barely above the bow. Let me see the front. And then the front. And there you go. And then when you get done, after competition, just slide that out. I would brush it out real good before you wash. That way you don't have to deal with all this hairspray. Alright, good luck.